intelligence, which is then analyzed by our creates policies, correlates and shares threat intelligence, and automatically enables a coordinated response to detected security events. All of this driven by automated, self-healing networks with AI-driven security for fast and efficient operations. The result is the first fully integrated endpoint, network, and cloud platform. Augmented with the industry's most advanced security AI, the Fortinet Security Fabric platform enables fully automated, self-healing network security.
I'm sorry, the interpreters cannot listen to the microphone.
Perché questo è un po', come si può dire, una nuova rinascita.
Because this is a new birth. We're starting our life again after so many months that obliged us to wear masks, to stay far away from each other. And we're so sorry, unfortunately, for not having all of you here physically present with us. We know that we still have security measures to follow, and so the presence even was to be limited. And so, luckily enough, we have technology with us. So follow us. Do not look away from your screen. Follow the plenary sessions. And stay with us with these during these 2 days. I'll leave you with Vanessa and Gianmarco and Gianmaria. So you are in very good hands. And I'll say goodbye for a few minutes because I need to go downstairs for the convention. So this is it.
Gianma, thank you. So let's go back to our moment.
So Vanessa did not sleep tonight.
I didn't sleep. So what do we do now? So
That's a good idea.
Our task is fantastic, no problem. So we are here for you that follow the convention remotely, in order to just spend some time together and have fun. Are you ready?
I don't know, personally speaking, but we'll try to be ready. So with our company, we'll be having other people following us online, and we'll try to entertain a little bit. We have some games to follow, and so we'll spend some time together. So let's order things up. You are ordered. Please help me with this.
Okay, so let's start from the title. Balance, value, creating value, sustainability, above all, how digitalization can just support companies in order to reach sustainability, in order to really act on the environment, on the social sphere.
I partner per la digitalizzazione delle imprese porta
focuses on digitalization of companies. So this
Very
is it.
good. Very good. That's a very good summary. So let's start with one of the first initiatives. We know that our initiative has started yesterday and is during 3 days.
So this first initiative is focused on young people like me and you. Oh no, really, I have a backache. Well, in any case, we have this hackathon. It's like a marathon focused on 7 groups of young people focusing on blockchain. So it is very innovative, and this project will be about companies. Do you know what a hackathon is, Gemma?
Well, I knew that you would ask, so this is why I prepared a definition of hackathon. So, hackathon or Hackafest is an event where experts of different sectors participate in. I knew it, I swear.
Okay, no problem if you don't know what it is, but Jacopo and Pierpaolo during the plenary session will explain better what our hackathon is, and we will just connect with the actual people that are participating.
So keep the definition in any case, so that we'll be prepared if someone asks. But as Francesca was mentioning, of course, here we are to also share our experience, and so we're also sharing some playful aspects of these conference and this event. So let me speak. It's a very important moment. In a few seconds, the first information. I'm suggesting no. So, but pay attention because we'll give information.
Talking about a game. You received the landing page. You may have downloaded the app. If you haven't, do it so now. Within the app, you will find all the information on the landing page about the game. So click on the button, participate, and follow the instructions.
Okay, so let's recap. We can use to enter the game. You can use the landing page that you have received, or you can even access, and please correct me if I'm wrong, through the Eventivar Group app. So you enter in the app, you click on the game, and then you have to follow instructions, important instructions, and whether we say that to you or you can find them on the landing page. So follow them, otherwise you won't be able to access the game. So you have to access the app, first of all. Second of all, you use your company email to access. Then you need to choose a nickname, but not a little butterfly, okay, nickname, a sort of name dot surname, okay, a serious thing. And then you access the game. You'll have the chance to answer the game, but only after you watched the specific session related. And then once you answer, you won't have the chance to re-answer again. So once you cannot correct your answers, but once you exit the app and you enter again, you will start again from the very same point you left the game. Is that clear? I hope so. But in any case, we'll repeat it. So what are you doing, Vanna?
I'm playing.
No, you can't, because you know the answers. That's not fair.
I was actually playing. Okay.
No.
So 3, 2, 1, go. The game is on now. You will have time to play until 10:30 tomorrow, and the results will be published in the plenary session at the end. So good luck.
Oh, good luck. But is this finished? Oh, no, there's more amusement, more fun, my friends. There is more coming. So, as we said, this convention is also sharing. So, we are on social networks even. And so we are on LinkedIn, on Instagram,
Facebook too.
on all social networks, you know. We're multi-platform. And so we have specific hashtags that you need to use during the convention. So I'll contract out from this gag, but please follow these hashtags. hashtag convention va 2021, and hashtag Equilibri sostenibili. So these are the two hashtags.
Yes. So as far as Instagram is concerned, I would like to invite you to publish the stories with a filter that we specifically created for the VAR Group convention. The stories, the fun...
È anche un copy divertente, quindi mi raccomando, spazio alla fantasia. Si aggiudica...
Have fun with them, will win a prize.
So please depict specific situations. We want to have fun while watching your stories. If you do not like the filter, by the way, that's Vanessa's fault. She made it. But in any case, please know that the prize is beautiful and the jury is us, the two of us.
It's us.
So please, our colleagues are texting me, no, I want to send you the answers unless for free, so that we can speak about money if you want. But okay, let's move on. Please, Van, explain us better. How do we use the filter? Perhaps someone is not very expert on Instagram.
Okay, so it is very important to access Instagram. You look for the VAR Group page because you are actually following it, right? You click on the icon with the 3 stars, you click on the filter, you find it, and you just use it in your gallery. So at that stage, you will be ready to publish your story.
You probably forgot something, no?
You were there ready
So
to correct me. I'm sorry, you didn't correct me, right? So...
I can say that if you don't want. You have to tag your story, because if you do not send it with a tag and post it with a tag, you won't participate in the game. Okay, so can we open the dances? Are we making a story with a filter? Oh my goodness, I look awful. Okay, so
we are winning.
No, Vanessa, I repeat, you are the jury, you can't win, okay?
Whatever. Okay. So, I'm leaving.
I don't know, perhaps it's not such a bad idea. Okay, I'm joking, but let's move on.
So, I think we broke the ice.
And you broke the ice. She was very nervous. She was running through the building.
Okay, but now my companion of this adventure is
yes.
also...
I do majestic work, I know. But...
Yes.
So we still have a few minutes left. We have a timer to follow, but it's a screensaver even, so we don't exactly know how much time is left for us. Also, we have it on a screen, but we don't have the password to open the screen. So, Vanessa, I'm afraid that we're actually getting over time.
I can't make Instagram stories. What can I do?
What we can do is say goodbye to our public online, for sure, for a few minutes.
Give the floor to the plenary session to be...
Okay, and so obviously the convention will be led by Victoria Cabello. I call her Victoria because we know, well, I personally know her. We're friends.
we met yesterday evening.
Well, okay, in any case, we'll talk later.
Yesterday evening.
So let's leave the floor to Victoria, and we are getting in touch. And after the convention, if we don't run away, of course.
An important thing, we forgot something important. Switch your webcams on, because at some point we will connect together with Victoria and with the audience in person. So just
yes, it's true.
Be good. Don't show yourself in your pajamas.
So please, no pajamas on. We want to make a good impression, obviously. So also the public physically present here will be able to watch you. So beware when you open your cameras, of course.
That's it. We said everything. And from our spot here, we see the plenary.
I can listen to the music on the background. Very good.
Thank you for your patience.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Buongiorno.
Good morning everyone, and welcome to VAR Group 2021 convention. I am extremely happy to be here. It's such an emotion to be here, to find all of you here. The adrenaline you feel to stay on a stage in front of so many people is something that we haven't felt for long. But honestly, I have to say that I still have some problems sleeping well, which is something that I did not have this problem when I was at school. I always slept before exams, but not this night, honestly. But when I saw all of you here, luckily, I felt calm because seeing and meeting all of you here again let me feel home and with family. Doing something physically present here, in presence event, is extraordinary. In Italy, we had all of these colored zones, red, yellow, green. And when in January I said, we'll have a physically present convention on 21st September, and that was January, everyone looked at me like if I was crazy. And however, there we are. And I have to say that one of my favorite quotes is from Erasmus of Rotterdam. The best ideas don't come from reason, but from a lucid visionary folly. This is one of my favorite quotes. And we have to follow this quote because we have to go beyond our limits in this period. And luckily enough, we're not alone. It's not just all of these 600 people in the room today, but there are a lot of other colleagues and people following us online. We have two speakers who are entertaining our online followers, and we have a lot of international colleagues following us from their countries. They are following us with simultaneous interpreting.
Have you all our international colleagues connected with us today? Hello and welcome.
So we have been living with COVID for 18 months now, and all of these changed dramatically our organizations, our lives. However, these also boosted the adoption and the maturity of digital competencies at least in Italy. And this is something extraordinary. We had we made a big progress in technology in Italy. We probably if COVID was not here, we would get till this point in 10, 20 years. But during the lockdown, we something that was considered absolutely abnormal before COVID times, like ordering online, I don't know, your food or your lunch and dinner. Now it's something that is ordinary, totally ordinary. So people is learning how to use digital and technologies. So a few days ago, my son turned 13, and he said to me, I want to go to the amusement park Gardaland for my birthday. And I said, oh no, please, there are going to be so many people all crowded up and we'll have to queue up. So I thought it would be a nightmare, but it's not like that, because with COVID, they totally reorganized the amusement park digitally. And I have to say that honestly, they digitalized everything, and so you don't queue up physically to get to the attractions, but you do it through an app. You order your food through the app. I went to the cash machine, to the cash in the restaurant, and then they asked me what number I had, and I was already going to order my food like old style, let's say, but no, they developed apps in the amusement park, and you do everything through apps nowadays. So now people are sort of more used to these technology, and if Gardaland, the amusement park, made it, that everybody can do it. And so we'll have to continue through this path to get to the economic objectives that we set, not just for ourselves, but for our customers, even for all the chain we work with. So obviously everybody, all of us are people, first of all, but we live in an environment which is crucial and is key to our lives. So this is one of the topics we'll talk about today. So I'll just leave you with our presenters and to the convention. So have a good work and see you later. Good morning, everyone. So first of all, I'd like to welcome all of you and thank VAR Group for having me here today with you. Today for sure, tomorrow I don't know, that will depend on today, but jokes apart, I'm very, very happy and very touched by the fact of being here in front of all of you. Being physically together is something which I would like to kiss all of you in a very lovely way, but I can't do it. Well, who knows? Well, all of us have the green pass, so I could actually give a couple of kisses. No, I'm joking. So we're here to talk about important topics related to our future. We know that COVID-19 and the pandemic is a very difficult moment for all of us and for companies, for the future of businesses. In any case, boosted in a very strong way important and key aspects as a sustainability that are key to all companies nowadays. So I do guess that during these 2 days we'll get to know much more about this sector. And I'm sure that after these 2 days, I'll have learned a lot of things. So we'll have a lot of guests today, very important guests. And I will shortly introduce them to you. I'd like to thank Francesca Moriani for gifting us with a very poetic moment with a very handsome ballet performer with an iron butt, I would say. But where are you? How do you have such a body? Do you go in the woods and climb trees or something? But okay. In any case, it's very good to be here. I have to introduce you the first guest today. Is very well known by all of you. And where are you? Yes, Francesca. I want to ask you one thing. Please give me a couple of information. How can I avoid to get on his nerves because he is very witty. I can easily get on his nerves, and so do not call him president, first of all. Do not call him Francesca's dad. This gets on his nerves. Oh, yes, he gets crazy with that. Okay, so I don't have, to call him Francesca's dad, but what can I say about him? He's a handsome man. He's a sort of George Clooney of our group. Yes, we know. Or no Giovanni Moriani, no party. How can I say? How can I introduce this man? Okay, what I can say is this. I have two things in common with Giovanni Moriani. Of course, I'm not as handsome and as tall as he is, but he loves, adores traveling as me, and he also has a mustache as I do. I used my razor obviously this morning, so you can't see it, but I assure we have this thing in common. So please warmly welcome Vagre President Giovanni Moriani. This was such a hilarious presentation, so thank you, Victoria. You didn't call me president, so you did well, okay. Well, yes, you see, that is the kind of mustache I had a few days ago, you see. You know that the first time I grew my mustache was when I was 16. Then I never lived without. Okay, well, lucky me, laser technology exists, and so I don't have your mustache today. But, so today we are going to talk about sustainability, digitalization, and many other topics. So, as I mentioned, you're very fond of traveling, so you have traveled so much in your life. You have traveled Patagonia. I went to Patagonia too. I went twice. You see, I can't compete with this, man. Then Bolivia, Ecuador, Iceland, India. I went to India, Peru. No, I did not go there. Bhutan. And then Himalaya, you went to Himalaya. And Antarctica even. Wow, okay. I have a question for you then. Do you have a golden card with some travel agency? One travel company, yes, I do have my travel company that I always travel with. But in any case, there's a good way to organize your travels. So I'll tell all the guests who are going to come here, you'll have to stick to times. I can kill you if you do not respect the timetables today. And so please, Giovanni, do not continue talking about traveling, because we have stricter timetables, but I'll do it anyways. You know, I can do that. I'm president of our group, but jokes apart. Something which is beautiful about traveling is that you come back home to your travels with many new objects in your luggage. And then 1 week ago, I went to Stockholm for a few days. And as all travelers with COVID, I had some tickets to use to Stockholm, and I absolutely seized the opportunity. And I have to say that that was very much connected to what we're talking about today. In Stockholm, you get to the airport, there is an express train getting to the city center, and you had a little column, digitalized column for tickets. So you had to take a picture of a of a QR code on that. So I got 16 tickets. I bought 16 tickets instead of 2 because I got confused, obviously, but that's not the point. So I sit on I get on the train, I sit on my positions, and the train checker tells me, okay, you got 16 tickets, sir. So you spent too much. It's 15 euros more. And he told me, okay, there is no problem. We can refund you. Once you get off the train, there is another ticket station. And perhaps, I'm sure there will be someone there. So I did what the lady said, and they were waiting for me in that ticket station, and they refunded me in a few seconds. So that was the first trauma. The second trauma I lived in Stockholm was this. I needed to go to the loo, to the toilet, and then I needed to access the toilet, and you have to pay to access the toilet, but you have to pay 2 cents, and you pay by card. Then I went to the restaurant. I sat at the table. So I scanned the QR code, and you don't only have the menu there, but you have a virtual assistant guiding you through the menu, and then you order with the app, and in a few seconds, the waiter is at the table. You already have paid through the app. That was so ordered. And so I was, before traveling, before leaving Italy, I was a bit doubting whether it was the case to go to the exchange office to change euros, but that was not the case. I did not need it, absolutely. So why did I tell this? Because why have I told this? Because we are living in a Western reality, in Western countries that are getting more and more digitalized. And our world is changing, whether we like it or not, with digital platforms. And today we'll be talking about digitalization and sustainable balances, in fact. So these 2 terms are very used nowadays, like resilience and narration, you know, so many people are using them today, but they're very complex concepts. Well, actually not as complex as you could think, because from the one side we have resilience, and then we have sustainability, then we have green economy and green society. When we started many decades ago, when we started our work as VAR Group, we started from our agricultural culture. What did we have? We had a farmers' basis, and so You know that, well, what is the DNA of our company is from the crops, from the way you cultivate crops. But these, okay, of course, we continue cultivating crops with, watering plants and everything. But the way we organize and manage this process is totally different. And now we do have specific needs. We need to take into consideration our impact on nature and environment nowadays. So our approach is the same, but we have changed the way we work. People, we do work with people, not with numbers. We have people working in VAR group who have always been working in VAR group. That was their first job, but now they are retired. So what is important for us is growing with the people who work with us, grow together as a big family and evolve together. Because someone who works with me is a person who is a part of the company, of my company, and so I have to care after him. He has a personal life. He wants to create a family, and so he does not only work. Of course, he has a social life too, and social development is important too. So today, I don't want to talk for too long. I guess that we have another guest who knows more about this. For sure, he knows more than I do. So would we like to introduce this guest? So Stefano Epifani, welcome. Good morning, Stefano. Stefano is a big name. It's very important for even all the people who are connected with us from even other countries.
Decent clothes and some makeup, because I will be at some point talking to you live for all the people abroad listening to us right now. Giusto una piccola
Yes, I wanted to clarify that please, they could have, so please to avoid to put on a pajama because they'll have to switch on their cameras. So after our friend, our Giovanni has spoken, I would like to shortly introduce you, Stefano, because you have a very important experience. You are president of Digital Transformation Institute Foundation. You teach at La Sapienza University in Rome. You are advisor in the United Nations. You have also written a very important book, and you have a very important curriculum, as we can understand. Giovanni has a question for you. Yes, I'd like to ask you something related to what you're going to say. And as Francesca mentioned, as I mentioned, we are living in an era where the digitalization is permeating all of our society. So what should we do so that these changes and the choices we make can lead us to a sustainable model? Wow. That's a big question. To answer this question, I will ask a question myself. So we have to leave, do we? If you want to keep me company, there is no problem. No. We'll leave you the floor. So very good question, Giovanni. So Stefano, you have the floor for yourself. Yes, to answer these questions, I could not avoid to ask another question. And I know that the nerdest people here around have understood the question. What is the answer to the fundamental question of life, the universe, and everything? So probably some of you have understood. Please I have a video with me.
Fa una razza di esseri pandimensionali iperintelligenti, stufi marci del continuo battibeccare sul senso della vita, incaricarono due dei loro più brillanti elementi di progettare e realizzare uno stupendo supercomputer per calcolare la risposta alla vita, l'universo e tutto quanto.
Oh, pensiero profondo! Noi vogliamo che tu ci dia la risposta.
La risposta a che cosa?
La risposta alla vita, all'universo, a tutto quanto. Ci piacerebbe una risposta, una semplice.
Ci devo pensare. Ritornate in questo posto tra 7 milioni e mezzo di anni in punto.
È finito?
Oh no, continua. Sono tornati.
Quando? 7 milioni e mezzo di anni dopo?
Esatto, è così.
Pensiero profondo. Hai la...
Risposta per voi? Sì, ma non vi piacerà.
Non importa, dobbiamo conoscerla.
Va bene. La risposta alla domanda fondamentale sulla vita, l'universo e tutto quanto è... 42.
Sì! Cosa?
Cosa? 42?
Sì, ci ho pensato attentamente, è questa, 42.
Figurati!
No!
Certo sarebbe stato più semplice se avessi conosciuto la domanda.
Ecco, sarebbe stato...
So, it would have been simpler if I knew the question. The answer to everything is 42. That was the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, of course. So, yes, questions, making the right questions is key, because otherwise we get to a cognitive tunnel. If we have the wrong question, then we are missing to defining all the possible answers. So if we ask the wrong question, we won't have any chance to get to the right answers. And this implies that when today we are asking ourselves, we ask ourselves on technology's main sense in a sustainable way, we need to reflect and think very deeply on the questions that we have to ask ourselves on technology, because if we ask the wrong questions, then we won't get to the right answers. Artificial intelligence, does it create employment? And then we answer 42 because it's a wrong question. If we think about big data, can we simplify our lives, or are we slaves of platforms with big data? Again, the answer is 42. They are dichotomous questions, you understand. So we can't have a yes or a no, a black and white. Technology is way more complex than this. Are social media habilitating a possibility to interact with each other, or are they isolating us? Again, answer 42. So here, close to us, there are people working on a hackathon. So again, big questions. Are hackathons creating very important answers? Again, 42. So you know that questions... a question that we do not think deeply enough is, what is digital transformation? This is a good question to ask ourselves. This is, many times, this is the DNA of our organizations. Because what does digital transformation mean? We may have two different interpretations on this expression. The first, which is the how, and the second, which is the what. The digital transformation is a dimensional phenomenon. If we think of the digital transformation, if we are living in such a context, we of course have automated process. We also regenerate a process and we transform it in a digital way. But there is something which is not clicking here. You do remember that a few years ago, a few decades ago, we would speak about an informatics revolution, at least here in Italy. And so what is this? After all, put it simple, that was just the digital transformation, regeneration. So we should point and focus on the how. How do we do that? For example, I have to produce a fishing rod. So what is the kind of material that I need to use? How can I assemble that? But considering all of this, I'm asking myself, was it so necessary to create a new expression about that? Because after all, we're always thinking and speaking about informatics. We're speaking about not about a process, a dimension process, but a process which is working in a context where technology is permeating more and more our society in a very deep sense. When we do speak about digitalization, we generally speak about an organization, a business that decides to undertake a digitalization process. And we're also speaking about the result of all the choices this company will make to get through all the different stages of this path. Today, we're starting speaking about bifidus computing. And this is generating a digital transformation which is not depending on us, but which effects we have to manage anyways. So we have to focus on not just on how we do things, but also what are the effects of what we do. I can make splendid fishing rods with artificial intelligence, but if people do not go fishing anymore, then I'll have a beautiful product innovation which will be pointless. And so at this point, digital transformation is, after all, a revolution of the deep sense of things. So what is the impact of new technology on society? This is the big key question I have to, and we all have to ask ourselves. Because if we do consider digital transformation just as putting everything online or on technology, then, but keeping all the processes the same, then these processes will die and everything we would have done will be pointless again. So this is the second part of our big topic today, sustainability and digital. So I do consider that the best way to transmit and to hand down the sense of digitalization is this picture. So I'm asking you, how many times do you wash the car you have rented before you give it back to the renting company? We do not care about what is happening after us. Because, well, I do pay taxes, I did pay my car rental, so someone else would wash the car, because that would obviously be included in the renting price. But this is not the case, because our planet is not washing our car. Of course, we need to think about all the connections in between economy, society, environment. Because if we look at a definition of sustainability, this is not my definition, but this definition is extremely linked to the future. So this means meeting the needs of the present generation without jeopardizing the possibility of future generations to realize their future and meeting their needs. So you see, we have to think in a systemic way. Economics social matters and environment are all linked together. We can't say that one is more important to than the others. This is a mistake because everything is in a balance and we need to keep this balance. This is essential. We have seen it in the opening. We have seen these performer with the hula hoop before, and he made this athlete, he was in a dynamic balance. And this is the point. This balance is dynamic. Sustainability is a dynamic balance because balance is not static, is not still. Today, our society is based upon 4 points. Systemics. So what does this mean? Our society has subsystems that are interconnected, the one with the other, and they're very complex. This is complexity, the second point. These systems are complex because we are not able to predetermine the effects of our actions on a system if we are operating on another system. Example, we are working on the economic leverage, okay, but we can imagine our effects on environment and on society, but we cannot predict all of them, and this needs to push us thinking about inferences. And inference is big data. It is clear that when we do think of systemics in the complexity of systems, and we need to cope with inferences, our strategies have to be based on activities, not on planning. So on adaptivity. We know that these are all, this is the ABC of social platforms, for example, because they're extremely complex and they need to manage all of these systems, which is very wide and interconnected. And this is essential for their working. And all the people managing these platforms need to cope with these and they also have to think about the sustainability of these platforms. As an example, we all of us know that now, well, in the past we would use tons and tons of plastic bottles, and now, luckily enough, we are passing to reusable bottles, and we use plastic less and less. So which is the relation between sustainability and digital? I have 1 minute and 10 seconds. I know, Victoria, do not kill me. I'll be in time. So we need to think about 2 aspects. The first way of interpreting our work. Technology and the digital world will be more and more key and important to continue to build up a society which is sustainable. Obviously, we have all of these objectives that you all know, and all of them are key. We cannot say that these global objectives are different in priorities, obviously. All of them are important. So we need, one of the key objectives is fighting poverty, fighting sicknesses, and we need to get to gender equality. And then, of course, all of these objectives are key, and then perhaps once we have reached these objectives, we can think about seals in Antarctica. Okay, this is a stupid example perhaps, but I do understand that all of this is connected, because of course we cannot live without an environment which is healthy too. I'll lead to a conclusion. We need to realize that in this system where economy, environment and society are cooperating, technology is entering more and more and having a more and more important role. So technology is habilitating the possibility to reach the sustainable development objectives and goals we have seen. So we need to ask ourselves, what is going to be the effect of technology on society, and how can we use technology to get to these objectives, to these goals? Let's think about circular economy. Let's think about electrification. Technology habilitates, enables all of these processes. Without technology, we won't be able to be sustainable because well, probably there are people who are big extremists on this point and would consider that technology will lead to a non-green reality neither. But I am sure, and it has been proven, that technology will lead us to a greener society. Let's think about artificial intelligence. We said that technology is not black, it's not white. It is way more. It's important to talk about digital sustainability because it expresses the role of digital as a systemic element. It is a fourth element with society, environment and economics. And we need to balance all of these four elements. Yes, I know, Victoria. I'll lead to a conclusion. Yes, 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 I swear. I'm running away if you want. I geolocalized you. You can't run. So I will lead to a conclusion. What can we do to have technology as a sustainable tool? I would like to ask you a question. Do you understand that you are actors, that you are protagonists of this big film of sustainability? Because not just you, but all of your customers need to become habilitators of sustainability. Sustainability, I'm running away from the two of you. We need to ask ourselves this question today. And why do you say today? What is the accelerator which is leading me to say that these topic on technology impact on companies has to be addressed today? What is the accelerator element? I mean, these digital platforms, this is what I would like to ask you. Because if we look at the analysis of OCDE, we can see how economics traditional economy is evolving and how the digital economy is evolving. And the first one is growing at 2% and the other one is growing at a way higher rate. So the point is the acceleration of this sector is very rapid, and so we need to decide how to continue supporting our businesses and customers in this process, in this digitalization and in this innovation process that we're living together. Because I do not just sell a product, but I also have to give all the knowledge to my customer on how to correctly use the product I am selling, this machine, and this is very right. From the one side, we need to think about the impacts of sustainability on the value chain. And then we need to think about how the development goals are changed depending on the company. And thirdly, we need to think about how to adapt our business and our customers' business. Let's think, as an example, sustainability is a new habilitator, we could say, is enabling all of this. And so we need to continue in this path.
Vabbè, comunque mi ha chiamata Chiabotto, che comunque mi poteva andare peggio, perché
effettivamente sì.
Miss Italia, quindi vuol dire che
Ero confuso, scusa.
ti eri confusa con Miss Italia, quindi questo mi sta molto bene.
Che però parla molto peggio, quindi voglio dire.
Esatto. E poi l'altra cosa, io ti vorrei candidare a Sanremo. Ma non possiamo aprire Sanremo così l'anno prossimo? Secondo me sarebbe una bellissima apertura, no?
Come Valletto.
No, tu come conduttore, co-conduttore con Amadeus e Fiorello, se ci saranno
adesso
loro.
possono fare petizioni online, propongo petizioni online Epifani a Sanremo.
Io la farei, secondo me con tutto VAR Group la vinciamo, tra l'altro, cioè ragazzi, lo troviamo a Sanremo sicuramente sul palco. Allora, intanto veramente grazie per questo bellissimo intervento, perché ha inquadrato veramente il punto focale di quello di cui parleremo oggi, quindi anche come la digitalizzazione e la sostenibilità siano due concetti che vanno di pari passo, no? Mi pare di aver capito.
Sì.
Poi per il resto ho annuito fingendo di capire, soprattutto quando parlava Giovanni, perché però no, devo dire veramente bravissimi entrambi. Giovanni, io non so se tu vuoi chiudere o
no, direi che dal punto di vista di contenuti siamo arrivati dove volevamo arrivare. Personalmente sono molto soddisfatto della comunicazione, e per il resto vorrei salutare tutti, anche da parte mia a chi è collegato.
Certo.
E buon lavoro, buona continuazione.
Grazie. Allora,
grazie a tutti voi.
Grazie mille. Stefano Epifani, tra l'altro ho aggiunto in curriculum mio, ho conosciuto Stefano Epifani. Invece so che Giovanni adesso sentirà Elon Musk, perché il prossimo viaggio sarà sicuramente su Marte, ma credo, almeno perché il resto l'ha visto tutto. Allora, a questo punto andiamo avanti, perché giustamente abbiamo salutato tutte le persone in collegamento, e sono tantissime, non solo dall'Italia ma anche dall'estero, l'abbiamo anticipato prima, e ci sono due persone di VAR Group che stanno gestendo tutta la parte, diciamo, digitale, e loro sono Vanessa Sabato e Gianmaria Fanti, che io tra l'altro guardo là perché sono fisicamente là, mi salutano dalla finestra. Benvenuti, grazie.
Ciao Victoria.
Ciao.
Hi Victoria. Hi everyone.
Hello. How are you?
Well, we broke the ice. Vanessa is very calm now.
Vanessa, are you okay? Because you must know that Maria is
Erba, l'abbiamo capito che comunque le sue velleità sono artistiche, io l'ho capito ieri alle prove, infatti secondo me se dovessi svenire oggi comunque so che ho un buon rimpiazzo, cioè loro due sono bravissimi.
Rimaniamo in contatto.
Esatto, rimaniamo in contatto, soprattutto monitorate le mie pulsazioni.
We'll keep in contact, yes.
Vi volevo chiedere, possiamo dare un'occhiata al wall per vedere alcune persone che sono collegate? Si spera di non avere quell'immagine di marzo 2020 quando eravamo tutti con dei capelli dei Pooh o dei Duran Duran, però dovremmo averli in collegamento, perché sono curiosa di vedere proprio le facce delle persone che contribuiscono a rendere grande questa azienda. Ragazzi, sembra il gioco dei 9, però un pochino più complicato. Un po' più complicato il gioco dei, non so, 2026. Ma quanti sono? Tantissimi. Ecco, li vedo che salutano. Ci potete salutare con la manina? Così so che mi sentite? Fantastico. Facciamo un applauso anche da qui. Grazie. Grazie a tutti voi perché siete in collegamento. Io spero che di non incasinare la traduzione simultanea con le stupidaggini che dirò sul palco. Tu nel caso abbozza di è pazza. Ma tra l'altro so che ci sono molti amici appunto dall'estero, so thank you very much for being here today. We appreciate it and I hope you enjoy it. Allora, io so che invece Gianmaria e Vanessa hanno una persona, giusto, che ci vogliono presentare per un'iniziativa molto importante.
Esatto, Victoria, abbiamo
This is true, Victoria. We're not alone. Someone visits us sometimes. We have a super budget. We have lots of guests. So we have Alex Tietzi. Hi, Alex.
Grazie, ciao Vittoria.
Thank you. Hello.
Thank you, Victoria. Thank you.
Raccontaci, perché so che ha a che vedere con l'arte, che è un altro, come dire, un'altra delle mie grandi passioni, e quindi raccontaci un po' che cosa avete fatto.
Sì, VAR Digital Art è un progetto speciale di VAR Group.
Sì.
Sviluppiamo iniziative che integrano arte, tecnologia digitale e da quest'anno anche sostenibilità sociale. Presentiamo in questa occasione l'opera digitale Star in Motion di Vincenzo Marsiglia. È un'opera esclusiva, è la sua prima realizzazione NFT e abbiamo voluto organizzare una presentazione, un'esposizione interattiva. Difatti le opere sono presenti qui in convention, le potete vedere all'esibizione al 4º piano del Palacongressi e online sulla piattaforma Leo City. Ma soprattutto appunto abbiamo voluto toccare l'aspetto sociale.
Avvicini un pochino il microfono,
Sì,
così ti sentiamo. Eccoti.
Abbiamo voluto toccare l'aspetto sociale.
Sì?
Le opere sono state acquisite da VAR Group e sono state quindi messe all'asta, il cui ricavato sarà devoluto all'impresa sociale Cavarei che si occupa di progetti inclusivi.
E facciamo un applauso perché mi sembra una bellissima iniziativa. E ce n'è sempre bisogno, per cui benvengano questi progetti.
Assolutamente, ancora più stimolante e coinvolgente quindi come iniziativa. Ed è proprio a partire da questo momento che diamo il via ufficiale all'asta, quindi invitiamo tutti a visionare le esposizioni, in particolare quella online, che è anche una nuova forma emozionale di usufruire dell'arte e di partecipare all'asta perché ovviamente ha anche questo aspetto sociale. Infine vi diamo appuntamento a domani in plenaria dove avremo ospite Vincenzo Marsiglia che ci racconterà direttamente il suo lavoro.
Io vi ringrazio, ci collegheremo con voi più tardi, facciamo un applauso.
Grazie Vittoria.
Grazie
a tutti.
Ciao.
Thank you, Victoria. Bye bye.
Ringraziamo, tra l'altro, insomma, la vera domanda che io non ho fatto prima, non ho avuto il cuore di farla prima quando ho visto il wall è: c'è la possibilità che a un certo punto appaia dietro di loro un parente nudo? Io lo spero tantissimo, sarebbe un po' sconveniente oggi, però non si sa mai, ci ricollegheremo con loro più tardi, anche perché adesso ovviamente VAR Group, ragazzi, è l'evento principale, più importante dell'anno, tra l'altro veramente l'emozione di essere qui dopo l'anno scorso, perché ovviamente si è saltato.
And the very important thing was that we received a contribution from the minister, Andrea Orlando, that will talk about the social value of companies. I wish to thank you for the invitation, and I am really sorry for because I can't participate only remotely. This is the only possibility I can be with you. I have unfortunately engagements that prevented me from being there with you. I know that these days focus on very important topics, not only for what you do, but also for the public. And I am sure that the topic of sustainability, of the social value of companies, is really pivotal as far as the dynamics that have developed over the last 1.5 years. So innovation shouldn't be seen as a cost, but as a tool for competitiveness. I could see it in your company. You are such an example, a sign for integration, for a principle of actually putting together all the elements for sustainable growth. And I really think that it is a key factor that you focus on lifelong learning and training in order to face the challenges of the market. So the sectors in which you are active need this approach. As a government, we decided to intervene in this direction in order to integrate education and the work sector. So it is a big challenge, a challenge of competitiveness. Many human resources are actually lagging behind and we cannot afford it. So our plan involves integration with the updating, for example, of the skills of workers. And it is also important to integrate the welfare system, the health system, and active policies. So our plan can contribute and give a stimulus to this context. I would have been really, really happy to participate to the event. But I hope we will have the chance to do it in the future. I thank you for the invitation, and I want to warmly salute your activity, your availability when we met and visited, and above all, the admiration that we felt the moment that we could touch firsthand what you do every day and the topics that you are addressing in this meeting. And for this, I thank you. So, an applause for the Minister Orlando. Oh, he has become a bit more good-looking than usual. I saw him better than usual. Well, whatever. Well, is there anyone who is single in the audience? Can you put your hands up? Oh, yeah. In the center, there was nobody over there at the bottom. Okay, I'll see you later. Perfect. Well, I mean, I work in order to find a fiancé, a husband, possibly. So, well, maybe I could consider the next guest. He could be for me. I don't know. The next guest we have is the CEO of the Gruppo Orizzonti. This was for the picture. And I read that he is working as an advisor for the Bank of Italy, Costantino Di Carlo. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Are you single? Yes, I am. Really? Yeah. I also have, yeah, I can give you my number. Are you on Tinder? I mean, just to say that, I mean, it's quicker since we're talking about digital. Okay, can I ask you something? Other than advisor for the Bank of Italy, I read that you're also a censor. Censor? What does a censor at the Bank of Italy do? Maybe erasing bad words? What do you do there? A reviewer? What does he do? Okay, so first of all, I would like to say hi to everyone. I really feel the emotion of being here. What does a reviewer do at the Bank of Italy? Well, we basically check. We do control activities, so we just go to the deposit of all the resources of all the coins of Bank of Italy, and together with our other professionals, we actually touch these banknotes in order to verify those. So I am a censor, I am a reviewer, a checker. So yes, I smell, I smell money, yeah. So we have mentioned the difficult balance that involves sustainable and digital development. What is your experience as a company? So the first question I asked myself, why a company from the south of Italy? Why? Because in the south of Italy, everything is more complicated. It's more difficult. He is crazy about me, I know. He's coming closer. Okay, so our company is a middle-sized company that has a core business in the distribution of food. So it's really a brick and mortar company. As to be clear, it is a multi-channel, multi-brand company that adapts to a very, very peculiar area. The area of the south of Italy is particular. We have specific areas where we work in 7 regions. Unfortunately, the wages are low in that area, so we actually have an average receipt, let's say that is 1/3 of what we are used to having in other areas of Italy. So the average receipt of the rest of Italy is 3 times the receipt of our customers. So we really have to just put together with consistency our costs and what we actually get. So this balance has an impact also that is increased by the peculiarities of the area where we work, because small and medium-sized enterprises sometimes do not have correct approaches that are limitless, that are really at the limit of what is permitted by law, actually. So it is necessary for companies to create value, to have roots in the area, respect, and have an identity. Respect is respect of the law, so abiding by the law, respect for the territory, respect for the people that collaborate with us, about 2,000 people collaborating with us, and that serve 80,000 customers in our shops. So we kind of these people, and we have to do it correctly, just really valuing their skills and their competencies. That the unhappy employee transfers this unhappiness and unsatisfaction to the customers. It transfers to the customers. So the main cost is actually labor costs for most of small and medium enterprises. So many of our competitors adopt bad behaviors, illegal behaviors, illegal competition. So all these elements are distorting reality. So it is really a key factor to find correct elements, correct levers that are also really going along our company mission. So we are working in a very hard and difficult context, as I said before. So we looked for the key to develop the company. So focusing on cultural investments and then technological investments. We started this in 2006. So it is hard actually to deal with this complex situation. What are the main factors of your development, of your company's development? So the main factor at the beginning of our experience was to promote a cultural change. Without cultural change, there is no further objective. So valuing the techniques of development, of process, of corporate identity. And I think that these elements are really base conditions that are fundamental so that technology can be later on applied. These elements are needed. Without them, we cannot protect the company. So that is why we managed to fight, and why you probably invited a company from the south, because these problems are really evident there. You can see them clearly. So with all these points, we can actually make it. Yes, we can. So one last thing I would like to ask you. Your group is called, the name of your group is Orizzonti, Horizon. So if your name had been different, I would have asked another question, but since your name is Horizon, I can ask you, what is waiting for us for the future at the Horizon? So I want to say it once more. And I understand now why VAR Group invited us as a protagonist, I mean, of the company presence in the South. So our keyword is actually creating value in a sustainable way. So if you just give me a couple of minutes, technology cannot be the end. Technology is a means. It is a tool. It is only something we can use, so we do not have to turn technology into an end. On the other hand, it has to be sustainable in the respect of people, of the territory in which it is used. And another thing I would like to talk about the investments. Of course, we can have measures, tools, all the super technological machines, we can touch them and see them now, but the creation of value can be seen over time. And as it has been said before, technology has to be an enabler, something that supports the process. It doesn't, I mean, buying something technological doesn't mean anything. It could be done in the wrong way. And in order to have the best results, it has to be actually used within a framework of people, within an organization that is characterized by maybe young employees that are prone on using new technologies. But those have also to involve more experienced and older employees, because a mistake would be to just put them aside. We have to value their competencies, their skills, and transform them into a piece of the puzzle, a piece of the process. So we really need to be patient enough to wait for these choices to actually give their fruit. So thank you for your contribution, for being with us. So an applause for him. Can I say something more? Why did they invite me? Maybe to actually be the proof that even in the south of Italy, this is possible. Thank you. So, Costantino Di Carlo, thank you. So let's go on, because I mean our program is super tight, and I would like to introduce the CEO of Amazon Web Services Italy. Hello, Carlo Giorgi. Hello, Carlo. How are you today? I'm great. Oh, I'm not used to this anymore. Is it true? I could take a selfie like important footballers. So I am a soccer player too, so I'm very strong, but unfortunately I just focused on a corporate career. Well, whatever. But you are the right person at the right time, because I would like to ask you something. I don't know if you know, but I am really into Alexa. She saved my life. During lockdown, I had my lockdown at home with my dog and Alexa. Just think about how happy I was. But in any case, with Alexa, I do many things. I do many videos. But of the last few weeks and months, maybe she's not the best. And every time I ask her, Alexa, what time is it? Okay, just look it for yourself. Oh, no. We need to focus on this. We need to work on the AI for Alexa. So since you actually work for a very important company as far as sustainability is concerned, what are your plans? Because I know that maybe one of them is actually getting on Bezos's rocket and leave the planet. Well, maybe for the far future, and we are on planet Earth now, and we need to protect planet Earth. Our plans started when Amazon Web Services started its investment in 2012 when we started in Milan, and all the investment increased up until 2020 when we opened the region, the 3 data centers of Amazon Web Services. We are talking about investments of hundreds of billions, millions of euros. So the 3 data centers offer redundancy and safety to our Italian customers with the low latency and being able to keep actually the data within Italy and keeping the sovereignty of data. The Amazon Web Services data centers are active with renewable energy, but you know that Amazon created a climate pledge, as you may know. So the the commitment of the company of Amazon and all those companies that sign it to become 100% sustainable, so with 0 impact within 2024, so 10 years before the Paris agreement. So Amazon is investing everywhere in the world in renewable energy projects in order to actually keep up to its word. So we are invested in 2 photovoltaic parks in Sicily, photovoltaic power stations in Italy, in order to provide sustainable energy, renewable energy to all the operations by Amazon in Italy, included our data centers within 2025. So aiming at sustainability, we see many customers that are putting sustainability on top of their objectives and choosing Amazon Web Services to do so. And we did the market research that says that 80% of emissions can be reduced moving one's data center to Amazon's. So many customers are actually moving their data on the cloud, not just for safety, for reducing costs, for innovation, from our cloud, but also to implement sustainability. Imperia, for example, in Imperia, one of our customers decided to close all of their data centers, moving them all to ours in order to guarantee sustainability to their operations. So a lot of investment, a lot of focus on sustainability by Amazon and Amazon Web Services. So it seems quite clear that in order to relaunch work, we have the possibility to support companies, training, innovation, or we can just dive into a pool. You chose the first one. So in Italy, you launched Amazon Web Services Restart. So can you tell us about this Restart project? Well, training is a key factor for future generations. And I was reading in the newspapers that we have 2,500,000 unemployed people. And we are actually, on the other hand, looking for people with the right skills. We are looking for market analysts, for example, or cloud developers by AWS. So we have got key figures that are well paid, but we are looking for them and we need them. So we are actually interacting and cooperating with universities, with more than 30 universities in Italy, from Catania in the south to Bolzano in the north. We make training, courses, credits in order to actually experiment on our cloud. And we launched this Restart program, AWS Restart. So it's basically a program for the reskilling of people that are unemployed unemployed, for example, and we have a 12-week training course. It is actually very engaging, and it is focusing on IT technologies, on networking, on databases, on safety and security, but it is also dealing with how to prepare a CV, how to have and deal with an interview, and at the end, there is a certification, so this certification will help them finding a job with our partners within the same company, etc. So if you allow me, as Costantino was saying, my future husband, Costantino Di Carlo, so we're actually talking about inclusion. So in order not to leave anyone behind, yes, the previous company was coming from the south. AWS started in the north, but we're working to develop training courses in Sardinia, Sicily, and in other Italian regions. So we're also dealing with this. So I really have nothing more to ask you. Thank you. Your project was fantastic. And so the very best luck. An applause for Carlo Giorgi. Thank you. Carlo, one last thing I wanted to ask you. I ordered something on Amazon, but it hasn't arrived. Can you do anything about it? Yes, I'll take care about it. Amazon quality. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go on. I met him this morning, and I already like him very much. The next guest is into theater, into acting. He might do some acting on stage. He loves Lego bricks. He is a physics researcher, and he has a 1-year son, and he could manage to measure the degree of pain that you feel when you step on a Lego brick. So let's welcome Jacopo Romagnoli, VAR Group Innovation Manager. How are you? I am great. I am great. Thank you also for your introduction. So do you want to mime something for us? Do you want to ask something? Let's do it together, maybe later. Maybe when we're drunk, when the Caviro representative will just flood us with wine. So you have been working starting yesterday and also Saturday evening. We were ready. So you have been working on a project that I would like you to share with us. So 30 young workers that are divided in small groups that are working on a hackathon. So first thing I would like to ask you if you told us what a hackathon is. This is the 7th hackathon we organize. Allow me to tell you something, because I got this information yesterday, but the world of digitalization of IT is very, very kind of male-like, but there are 50% of women, so girl power. We were super happy. It wasn't actually previously prepared. It just came out like this. When we counted women and men, it was 50-50. So are they hackers, or I have to hide my phone? Well, we've got some that are close to that idea and others that are different. So every year we choose a technology that we consider as a topic of their challenge, and this year we want to apply it on very real situations. So we focus on blockchain this year. Are we talking about Bitcoin? Not really. We are trying to just give a practical approach to this idea. So we are interacting with the workers, with the companies, and everyone is realizing that we're talking about a great asset that could actually really support development. so we can focus on GDO, on fashion, on wine. Can we see them? I would like to connect with them and see their faces. Here they are. Hello. So, are you there by mistake? You look like my trainer, my gym trainer. So, Pierpaolo, nice to meet you. So tell us something. So thank you for this connection. Welcome to the Blockchain Hackathon by VAR Group. This is Chiara, our partner here. Partner of the organization of the Blockchain Hackathon, and behind us you can see the protagonist of this hackathon. We're talking about 7 groups of young researchers, young developers that are actually having this challenge of this multi-sector blockchain hackathon. Say hi. So we're actually at the very end of our project. So they are very focused, 50% of women, and we're super proud of this. So we are actually focusing on the very last moment of this hackathon, and they are working on the last details, and the winner will be picked tomorrow. So I would like to thank them and close the connection of this big brain, because I see it clearly. There's very intelligent people in that room. So good work, everyone. So I would like to just thank you for your contribution, and I'll see you later. Thank you. Bye. Bye. So let's move on to our next guest, because I quoted his name. He's a genius. He has 2 MIT degrees in Boston, but his genius is not in the degrees he has. I think his genius is in his job title. He is General Director of the Caviro Group, the leader cooperative in the wine sector. So let's welcome Simon Pietro Felice. How are you, Simon Pietro? Everything is good. So you entered very directly. I thought you were about to kiss me. Okay, no, COVID doesn't allow us to do it. So I would like to tell you something. You come here without anything? Who am I? Am I the last one of everyone? I wanted something. You didn't bring anyone? I was thinking about you already. Okay, in the meantime, let's kind of describe Caviro. 195 million liters of wine sold. That is more or less a light aperitivo in the Veneto region. So you are the most important winery in Italy. We are a cooperative, so made up by 2,900 partners. We take the grapes, we make the wine, and we distribute it. Our main brand is Tavernello. We've got many others, but the Tavernello brand is the most well-known. We produce 5% of Italian wine overall. So we're talking about sustainability today. How did your approach adapt towards sustainability in time? Well, sustainability meant for us to be sustainable economically. Our partners are small producers, 3 hectares more or less. They wouldn't make it alone, so they would give us their wine. So after taking care about the grapes and making wine, we have actually the discard, what is left after the wine production. So we took everything they got rid of everything because we can get value from the wine, but we can also get value from what is left. So recycling, bioenergy. So we created a circular economy in order to give them back something, to give them back value. So this approach is sustainable on the environmental point of view, but it has to be also economically sustainable. So let's move on now to the context of, putting together wine and digital. What was your turnover during the lockdown? Well, for sure, the consumption of wine increased. I would have 7 aperitivos every dinner. So, have you ever sent an email when you were drunk? I have, personally, and that is the moment in which I write best. No, I am an enologist. I don't spit, I drink. So drunk people come and just ask me for raises, normally. So, speaking about something serious, what is the role of the digital technology in your sustainability experience? Well, this process is really focusing on technology, IT, engineering, because taking value using, using basically what is left from the production is difficult. You need to have the technology and the know-how in order to be able to do that, in order to bring actually compost back to the fields needs really a process of investment, technology, and know-how. And the digital the digital context really helped us in order to share the know-how, not just with our customers, but with our partners too, because as any model of circular economy, the bigger, the more people participating, the more materials you can transform within the same circle. Every year there is the harvest, every year there is the production of wine and of what's left. So we can transform that. In the past, we used to have a mindset of an engineer, so we would keep our process within us. But as soon as we started sharing our project, then we managed to increase our business and to have a social impact. Thank you for your experience and for sharing it with us. We weren't perfect as far as the schedule is concerned. Oh no, you were perfect because it took less time, and I thank you. Thank you, Simon Pietro Felice from Caviro. So please pay attention. When you go out, there will be the police. Oh, you are here already. Come closer, come closer. What is your, how enthusiastic are you? How happy are you to participate? Okay, you are our next guest. I really am much shorter than you. I would have to have high heels or a stool. Maybe if I wasn't the Miss Italia mentioned before, Chiabotto. Oh no, maybe you look more like Carla Bruni. I sing worse than Carla Bruni does, so maybe not. Maybe not. No, I'm talking about your face and body. No, maybe you need glasses. No, I can see well. So, I didn't really have a proper presentation because when I read that you were working for Google, I have to confess that being on Google is one of my most favorite things. And I Googled myself, and actually Google is trying to tell me something, because when I Google myself, I have single, husband, fiancé as a result. So Google is telling me something. Here, Fabio Fregi, Google Cloud CEO.
You are a very big multinational, and so you could not avoid, as Google, to address the point and the topic of innovation and sustainability. So have you invented your solutions, or have you Googled them? So first of all, as a provider, it's key to have a sustainability priority. And second, you need to have a plan to get to your goals. And third, you have to get and reach it. So you know that data and big data is the new treasure today. They are even more precious than oil. And so nowadays, data and data centers have an environmental impact. So it is key to have a strategy to make these infrastructures sustainable. So it has been calculated that, approximately 2% of emissions in the world are generated by data centers. And you know that if you calculate and you put together all the providers, an exception made for Google, all of the other providers are as big as Google is. So we have a lot of pressure on ourselves. So what did we do? We have built data centers in 2004, and we wanted to reach a compensation on CO2 emissions, and this is what we did. So we want to be carbon free, the sooner the better. And the more we produce CO2, and the same amount of CO2 we emit and produce, the same amount of CO2 we'll produce with alternative projects like planting trees, etc. So first step, what we did was understanding our impact on environment. The second step was reducing our emissions, and we have been doing it for 4 years. And we are producing the same amount of oxygen of the CO2 that we produce with these projects. And our goal is reaching a 0% impact, environmental impact, by 2030. We'll get to this goal because it is reachable, because we are in a good position right now. We have made progress, and an international class, an international ranking of sustainable providers has been made, and it has been calculated. Many aspects have been calculated. The efficiency of the servers, the kind of energy that you consume, if this is renewable or not. And Google is very well positioned in this ranking. So what are we doing? Someone who spoke already mentioned it, but sustainability is something that is relevant to each one of us and to our consumers and customers. And so this is why we need to be sustainable and to provide services that allow our customers to be sustainable too. And we, as Google, are very going forward for this direction. And this is one of the priorities we have. So in a short time, Google will not just, for example, Google Earth, Google GPS and Google Maps will not just tell you the shorter path to get to a place, but also the more sustainable path to get there. And it is important as a cloud provider, and we have decided to do this to be economically sustainable and environmentally sustainable, we are adapting all of our regions and centers to be as sustainable as possible. And we are giving certificates to our centers, saying exactly how sustainable one of, well, each branch is in Google. And so in all of these process, what is there anything that has shocked you? Well, personally, if I can say so, the idea of Google Maps telling you how to get to a place in the most sustainable way, even, this is something magnificent. That's marvelous. Yes, you know, we are putting an effort in our work, but it's important also to lead our customers to be, and our users to be more sustainable. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Fabio Fregi, for your words. Fabio, sorry, could you please let me know something about April's Fool, next April's Fool in Google? I'll tell you later. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. So our next guest is a very extraordinary lady. I'm very, very glad to have her with us. She is a mother, and in her life, she found herself in a very difficult moment, in a very difficult situation. And you know that difficulty creates opportunities too. And so I'd like to welcome on the stage with me a very strong woman who created a support for new parents, and she will introduce this support to us. You know that parenting is one of the most difficult things in the world, and second after the spelling of Gewürztraminer, I guess. But so please welcome Cristina Lucera, CEO and founder of Parent Smile.
Ciao, Cristina.
Hi, Cristina. How are you? I'm fine, thank you very much. I'd like to thank our group and all of the organizers to giving me this opportunity. And for believing in us and our project. I feel blessed to be here and to show you my project, to talk about this with you. So this is, in fact, what I would like to start from. Your project is extremely useful, and I'm not joking. A few days ago, I was reading the program of this convention, and I was on the phone with a friend of mine who is the anchor, the presenter of Quelli che il Calcio, a very well-known TV shows, and she has become a mother recently, and so I told her, please contact this lady, please contact Cristina Lucera, because that's a beautiful project. And she answered me, do I look so desperate? And I said, well, probably yes, a little bit, but please contact her, because this is going to change your life. Because in fact, so please, could you tell us more about Parent Smile? Well, Parent Smile was born from an idea I had when I had recently become a mother. So this is a very magical but also revolutionary moment of your lives, which is parenting. When I became a mother, I really lived in the first place a lot of problems and experience. The missing or the misinformation on the internet, for example. And so I felt lost, because in Italy it is difficult to find support from professionals in these very delicate moment, which is parenting. And so sometimes you feel abandoned, you feel lost and on your own. And why is this? There are so many causes leading you to these situation. It's important to have a smart and simple way to get support and help in these situations. So let's start from the kind of offer, services offered. They are so jeopardized. They're so different, the one with the other. Very different, and so it's difficult to find the name of a professional in this fragmented reality, and in a shorter time, because obviously the parents do not have time, so it's important to find in a quick way a professional who can help you. And this is very difficult because nowadays all online platforms offer, let's say, give you a curriculum of professionals, but they do not allow you to keep in touch rapidly with the professionals. So you found this gap in the market. Yes, and it was huge, a huge gap. You know, the new mothers feel very much isolated. They feel alone during all the day. Also, you know that fathers do not have parental leave in Italy, or it's very short, and so this is problematic. And if we do not solve these issues timely, these leads to baby blues, post-natal depression, and other issues. So support is needed, and greatly needed, and even more in this moment of pandemic and health crisis. So the routine, the hospital routine also has to adapt and face these needs. So this is why your project is important, in fact. So we have talked a lot about sustainability today, and so how does sustainability can enter in these projects? So our project is the perfect match between sustainability, social sustainability, and digital and innovation. And this is because we've understood that from, well, the digital offer is actually missing innovation nowadays. So that's why we decided to introduce an innovative element in our project. We wanted to create value and sustainable value, and this is why every day we work to follow our vision, which is help parents with professionals, and to also allow parents to get in touch very quickly through an app digitally with qualified professionals who can help them caring after their children. And we have launched this platform for parents of children aged from 0 to 12. And this platform allows you to have a real-time confirmation of a meeting, of taking a meeting with these professionals. So what we did was this, and through this app, we first understand what kind of problem the user has. Second, we provide him or her help to solve it. We are truly digital. I'd like to underline this point. We are 100% digitalized, and this allows us to give a unique online experience. We have the best match in between professional and user, and our project is scalable, and also our platform is the first one addressing a niche in the market, the new maternity, I mean, because other competitors are just general purpose applications and platforms. What we do is providing services, healthcare services, but also training and assistance services, pointing at high quality competencies of the professionals who work with us. As an example, we will shortly introduce a nanny as a new professional, but it's a professional nanny who has been following a training course with a Montessori technique. And what I want for my kids is a nanny who is a professional and knows what to do with my kids and can provide first aid too. So, oh my goodness, if this is so crucial, helping people in need for these so important services. So, when is this going to be possible? So our co-project will be launched at the end of 2021. And the first area the project will be launched is Brianza, one of the most digitalized in Italy. And within 2022, we'll be reaching Florence, Turin, Bologna, and other important cities in Italy. And then we'll reach even other countries too. Well, that's marvelous. So break a leg, not physically, obviously, but break a leg for your project. I am a big fan of Google. I don't know where our guest is there. Yes, hello. So when people say me, please don't Google this because you will find wrong information. But this is something which is very important and interesting to find on Google, honestly. I personally, honestly speaking, I'm not very smart finding solutions. So this is something which is for me. Thank you for having explained to us this very important project. Thank you very much. But why do doctors always say you don't have to Google your sicknesses and pathologies? Because this is something I adore. I always find interesting information online, but jokes apart, let's move on. In the program, we have another institutional message and speech from Marco Calabro from the Economic Development Ministry, and he will be talking about the Recovery and Resilience Plan in Italy, the RRP. Good morning. I am very unhappy for not being with you in VAR Group. Unfortunately, I have to be in Rome for institutional purposes, but I would like to salute you and represent, even if virtually, our ministry. Because the topics you are speaking about today are essential and key in the politics that the government has been leading and putting into practice for 4 years now. So the industrial politics is taking into account the innovation and the sustainability. These two are elements that do represent the only tool we have to launch again our businesses in Italy and make them more competitive on the market. We know that after a business crisis, the market has a new boost, and what is important to continue and be successful on the market is digitalization. For this reason, we are aiming at digitalization. What is key in this case is not just focusing on big companies, but also on small and medium-sized companies. This is key. They have to digitalize themselves too. And so this is why we're working on cultural aspects for the digitalization and for the innovation. And we are investing in these sectors. What are we doing? We are aiming at giving the small and medium enterprises and companies the possibility to have counseling to follow this path. And we know that the European Commission has dedicated funds for this process, and we have dedicated 25 billion euros for the next 3 years to these projects. And it's important also to continue in this path even after these few years to come. So I would like to thank you for your work, and so have a good work in these days. So I have to admit that I was focusing on his hair all the time, because this reminded me of something, of a childhood memory, you know. Do you know Kiss Me Licia, Mirko from Beehive? That was the same haircut. He was just missing the red hair in the front. But wow, that was marvelous to be child again. Jokes apart, we have the very last guest in the morning, so I'd like to welcome the executive partner and co-founder of Linfa Digitale, so Lorna Vatta. Good morning, Lorna. How are you? Very, very well. What about you? I'm splendid. Thank you. I've learned a lot of interesting things today. A very well day. Well, very good day. Yes, a beautiful day. And you're the chair and the cake today, because your Linfa Digitale project is awesome. So I have to say, I'd like to draw your attention on the fact that you have, you look like Lara Croft, honestly, and a superheroine. So also, Linfa Digitale, what is this? Why have you called Linfa Digitale your business? Linfa, you know, the lymph brings life, and digital is key, you know, so that was a nice name for the project. Very nice. So let's talk about bonuses and incentives for digital. We have been talking about those for years, but why is it so important in 2021 and in the future years to have these incentives? Well, even in the past years, they were very important. Today, we have made comparisons between Italy and other countries, and we started to realize that we look at them as very advanced in digital, while we have a long way to go. So we are in a digital debt, we could say, and we are doing what we can do, let's say, with the tools we have. We are getting results, honestly, but we need to do way more. So I know that incentives are not very sexy to talk about, but they are essential, because we have started in 2017, and Marco Calabro has mentioned them. He has been my point of reference for the last years. He made an intensive course on technology for me. And so Digital Europe 2021-2027 is a project, a European project, to digitalize our societies. But we are not in the first line. We know that Italy is a company based upon small to medium-sized companies. And we have, however, a long list of strong points, and we need to use them now, because if we don't use them now, it will be too late. So now or never. We know that Italy is a beautiful country, and it has a specific characteristic, which is we as Italians are able to sort it out and find a solution to difficult situations in a very short time. But why is this digitalization so important for the Italian businesses and companies nowadays? Well, we do work with a series of companies that perhaps do not represent at their best the multiple reality of companies of Italy, but all over Italy. But all of these companies, they start with an idea, and while they develop it, they also change it and make it flexible depending on the situation. All the people in the company, when you bring a digitalization process or project, they generally look at you with a bit of suspicion, let's say. This is something that has been like that for many years, but luckily enough, this is getting less relevant, is happening a bit less, because people are understanding that we need to renew our model, our country is risking to become just a country based upon tourism and renting flats and rooms, like for Airbnb and similars. So we have way more. We need to push on those sectors even. So how do you train people to do that? Yes, we are. This is the point, in fact, because I have worked in mechanical sector, and I had to study a lot to start understanding a bit what digitalization and IT is like and how to work in this sector. And this is the point. We need to put together the two needs and the two sectors. Re-engineering process is this. Re-engineering allows you to seize new opportunities, and this is why we need to evolve in this sense too. Well, so break a leg again with this Linfa Digitale then project, because this is very relevant and important for our businesses today. So that's important for our country, for Italy. We are full of resources and we need to use them. And we have talented people, as you in the room are, and so we can do a lot of things with these people. I feel very touched. We can do a lot of things together. Well, thank you. Thank you, Lord Navata, for staying with us today. So I would like to call on the stage again our queen, Francesca Moriani. Welcome again, CEO of our group. Finally, we're together on the stage. You're so beautiful today. Thank you. You're beautiful too. And congratulations for being the perfect presenter today. You were perfect, smart, energetic, very witty as usual. So big round of applause for Victoria. Two women on the same stage. It rarely happens. So that's beautiful. Yesterday when we met, I understood that we are actually very look-alike, when our characters are very compatible. So let's continue, let's very shortly connect with our two colleagues who are managing the streaming online. So after that, we'll have a lunch break, and then in the afternoon, we'll have the thematic plenary session. So at this point, I leave you the floor. So we'll meet later. So thank you, Francesca Moriani. So I have to speak the truth. When I opened the day with my speech, I was very touched. But I think that you were even more emotional than I was, because you were a bit... you were a bit distant, actually. Then after a little, step by step, you started warming up, and we broke the ice, and I guess that now we're starting getting used to be together again, and to interact the one with the others again. So I liked these morning speeches very much. I hope the same for you. That was the same for you. We spoke a lot about a lot of concepts and topics very important topics, obviously, but we talked about them in a simple and easy to understand way. If I have to think about the two concepts that shocked me or I think will stay with me the most are these two, I would say. I would pick two. Time is now. We don't have time left. Now is the time we need to act to unite our forces, our experiences, and act together. These 2 days of convention have to do this too. Okay, we have been in touch through video calls and similars, but this is not the same thing as watching and talking face to face with or without our masks on, and talk about our experiences. Sharing our experiences is important. Today, we also had institutional speeches. Today, our plenary sessions will finish at 4:30 because we want you to have the rest of the afternoon to talk, to share experiences. On the fourth floor, you will find the experience valleys. You will touch by hand the new technology that are available on the market nowadays. And secondly, then I'll keep it short because after that we have lunch break. But many of the guests who have spoken today talked about the necessity, the need to have new professionals. We can't do new things following old schemes and paths. And as we have asked, as we have mentioned, are we asking ourselves the right questions? Are we putting in place the right competencies and talents and know-how? We really have to ask ourselves this question because the last 18 months have been devastating. They have been revolutioning. And we haven't had the time to adapt to this change. And this is why our organizations need competencies that do not exist, or it's very, very hard to find on the market. And this is why we need to create these professionals, training them or giving them new skills. So data scientists, application experts, and similars can be found on the market. But nowadays, in organizations, and you can tell it to me today, we do not have separate departments that do not interact the one to the other. In fact, CEOs now are becoming digital transformation officers, and digitalization is permeating every single activity, business activity in our society. So we don't only need technical competence, but also the ability to collaborate, to work together, to listen to the other, to understand the needs of the business, and to put into practice the solutions that address these new needs. So what are we doing now? And I'll try to be the devil's advocate in this case. So what are we doing? We are organizing a hackathon, which is proof that we can do something in this sense. We are creating new young professionals. We're training them who can enter in our organizations and become a part of them. We can train these youngsters for you. And we are working to build up a new academy. We can't. I am not very good at giving new names, but VAR Academy is the name I gave it to. I gave to the project, but I understand that the name is not the best. But this is the idea. We are creating people and young professionals with these soft skills of 4.0 industrial realities. So all of the topics that we have addressed this morning will be the same. We'll be discussing about this afternoon and tomorrow morning during the plenary session in this very room. So we do have some information from the security to give you, the people who are present here in the room. So please listen carefully to the rules we have to follow, because it's lunchtime and we need to stay safe. So aren't you applauding? You see, you're distant, you're detached today. Okay, way better. Well, thank you. To have a safe moment, to have lunch in a safe way all together and respecting distancing, we would like to please follow these instructions. All of you have a badge. You have a seal on your badge. You have a sticker, and you have 3 colors. The first color, having lunch, is the yellow sticker. You can exit on the right or on the left of the room. You can take your time to exit. So please, the yellow sticker can have lunch on the 5th floor. There will be some colleagues indicating you the path to follow. You'll have the stair lift. So I'm afraid that the interpreter is not listening to the 2 speakers and is still listening to the information on how to have a proper lunch on the spot. But we'll have lunch now, so please do not leave us, because we'll be back after lunch. Continue posting on Instagram with hashtags and so have a good lunch. See you in a few hours. 2:30 we'll be back. Also 2:15 we'll be back. Bye-bye. Have a good lunch. See you later. And yes, the interpreter cannot listen to them again, so sorry for this little interruption. Sì, anche tu. No. Io a un certo punto vedi, non lo so, guarda cosa succede.